Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 26, text number 53 to 55. Entitled Fundamental Principles of Material Nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Virat Purusha, situated himself in that golden egg which was lying on the water, and he divided it to many departments. First of all, the mouth appeared to him, and then came forth the organ of speech, and with it the god of fire, the deity who presides over that organ. Then a pair of nostrils appeared, and in them appeared the olfactory sense, as well as prana, the vital air. Śrīla Prabhupāda's purport. With the manifestation of speech, fire also became manifested. And with the manifestations of nostrils, the vital air, the breathing process, and the sense of smell also became manifest. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupāda. In the wake of the olfactory sense came the wind god, who presides over that sense. Thereafter, a pair of eyes appeared in the universal form, and in them the sense of sight. In the wake of this sense came the sun god, who presides over it. Next there appeared in him a pair of ears, and in them the auditory sense, and in its wake the devatas, or the deities who preside over thy directions. The appearance of different bodily parts of the Lord's universal form and the appearance of the presiding deities of those bodily parts is being described. As in the womb of a mother, a child gradually grows different bodily parts, so in the universal womb, the universal form of the Lord gives rise to the creation of various paraphernalia. The senses appear, and over each of them there is a presiding deity. It is corroborated by this statement in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and also by Brahma Samhita, that the sun appeared after the appearance of the eyes of the universal form. The Brahma Samhita also says that the sun is the eye of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Yach chakshur esha savita savita means the sun. The sun is the eye of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, everything is created by the universal body of the Supreme Godhead. Material nature is simply the supplier of materials. The creation is actually done by the Supreme Lord, as confirmed in Bhagavad-Gītā 9:10. Maya dyakshena prakriti suyachesa characharam. Under my direction does the material nature create all moving and non-moving objects in the cosmic creation. Śrīla Prabhupāda here is describing the different senses which are governed by the various deities, like the sun god for the eyes, the wind god for sense of smell, etc., etc. So there are millions of demigods, and ultimately they are empowered by the Lord, who manifests his Virat Purusha, his universal form. So we see that everything comes back to a person. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Everything refers back to a supreme person. And here he's saying, Maya Dyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sachara Charam Hetunanena Kuntaya Jagad Viparivartate. That Akshena, the Lord is running the show. However, the foolish scientists, today's society, the world is dominated by science, but not just science, atheistic science. Actually, the word science comes from the Greek root word, etymological word known as scientia, which means to know. So just like Krishna chastised Arjuna, asochanan vasochas tvam, you're speaking like a learned person, pragyavadam chavasase, gatasun agatasun cha, but you don't know, you really don't know what is matter, what is spirit, the difference between living and dead. The prakriti, bhumir apanalo vayu, kamano buddhi evacha ahankara itiyame, bina prakritam, these are the separated, bina prakriti ashtadam, the separated elements of Krishna's prakriti, of his material energy, which comes from the Mahatattva. And it's accompanied by the modes of nature, Sattva, Raja, and Tamagun. So the atheists, they confine themselves to the epistemological assumption that all reality can be arrived at through the external senses. Nate vidu swa gatimi Vishnu. Bahir artamaninam. Andarya tandar upaniyamana. Therefore, bahir arta. They're saying, oh, reality is that which we can encounter with our material senses and the instruments that are produced by our imperfect senses. Senses are imperfect. We have a tendency to be an illusion. We make mistakes. And we have a cheating propensity. So they're claiming in their educational institutes, Harvard, MIT, Oxford, all these big institutes, they're claiming that there is no God, there's no soul, because they haven't detected it with their instruments. They simply detect various things. Just one Russian scientist, Mendeleev, in the 19th century, he discovered that there are different elements, periodical table, and that these elements, based on the atomic structure, they have certain weight, certain properties, and they have developed this periodical table. Before that, or during that time, in the 19th century, we have Newton, Isaac Newton. Although he believed in God, they give him the credit, the Newtonian laws. No, he discovered these laws of God. He discovered the gravitational pull. There's gravity that is pulling all the different objects. There's also laws of motion, inertia, and so on. He discovered all these different laws. Well, who is the lawmaker? Here, Vedavyasa is explaining Maya Dyakshena Prakriti, that there's the lawmaker. Krishna himself, Arjuna is saying, Param Brahm, Param Dham, Pavitram Idam Uttamam, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. That there is a supreme person, Lord Krishna. From him, so many different features are coming. Nanavatarama Karud Bhuvaneshu Kintu. So we know the Purusha avatars, they're involved with the cosmology. Karanadaksha Vishnu is lying in the causal ocean, which is separated from the spiritual world. Yasyaka nishpasita katamata avalambhyam. Jivanti loma villaja yadananata. That all these different powerful demigods who are controlling different aspects of Krishna's creation. Jivanti Loma Vilaja means that these little capsules, these little eggs that we're discussing here, emanating from Jidampi Loma Vilaja, from the hair pores of Mahavishnu's body. How big is he? And we find ourselves in this tiny little egg, and we think, oh, this is, our cosmos is huge. And with their instruments they detect, oh, the universe is expanding. They say the universe is expanding. One cosmologist, he came to India and he was studying the Vedas. His name is Carl Sagan. And he said it's quite uncanny, quite surprising, but the Vedic cosmological content has very many parallel, very many similarities to our discoveries here in our universe. They discovered what is called the red shift with their telescopes. They discovered that this red shift is indicating that our universe is expanding. Light has different colors, and the red color has very long waves. And so the light, as it's going out and they measure it, it seems to be expanding and expanding, which means that the cosmos is expanding. So of course, this is pure speculation. With their imperfect senses, they're speculating. But it seems that their study of the cosmos, their study of the physical laws, they say that the universe is highly fine-tuned. It's very fine-tuned. Mass, time, space, and energy, the four elements within our cosmos, they're fine-tuned such that the sun is allowing us to survive here within the Bhumandala, within this area. If the sun had been a little more powerful, a little bigger, if its orbit was not so strictured, so fine-tuned, there would be no life here on this planet. So, in their speculations, they're discovering that the universe is fine-tuned. So, one famous atheist, Sir Fred Hoyle from Edinburgh, he became very popular because he described the cosmos, how there was a Big Bang, and from this explosion 14 billion years ago, the universe cooled down and you got all this orderly arrangement. Like it's just like a philharmonic orchestra where everything is working in symbiotic harmony with each other so that life could exist. So eventually he said, any intelligent person could see that there's a designing agent behind our universe. And those who resist this obvious data, this obvious phenomena, it is not based on their physical findings, but it's simply a psychological problem that they have. So the atheistic persons from the very outset claim asatyam apatishtam te jagat ahura nishvaram, that there's no controller, jagat ahur anishvaram, and that this whole world is asatyam, has no real truth to it. And apratishta, that there's no supreme causal agency that is supporting our universe. Although Lord Brahma says, Anor Aniyam Mahato Mahayan, that Lord Krishna in his Vishnu feature is living in every single atom, and even between the atoms. Paramanu Chantarasta, that he is between the atom and in the atom, and therefore we have all the various necessities of life being supplied to us. Like you get oxygen and 2 hydrogen atoms, oh, water. And Krishna says, Rasoham apsukontaya pravashmi shashti suryaya, I am the taste of water. So all these elements actually have been arranged by Krishna's infinite intelligence. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, natat shamascha vyadikascha rishyate. Sarvasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate Svabhavaki Jnana Bala Kriya Cha is described that God has unlimited potencies. He has so many different types of potencies. Therefore he says, I'm the light of the sun and the moon. I am supplying all the various necessities of life, the air, the water, this, that. And here it's describing how he does it by his personal Virat Purush. So this is the problem. They have a problem. Their problem is that, as one Nobel nominee has said, Vikram Singh from South India, he's a Nobel nominee. He said that atheistic science is an act of faith. First, they refuse to accept anything beyond what they see. They don't want to accept God, just like Hiranyakashipu. In so many ways, as Prahlad Maharaj was telling him, Matirna Krishne Paratasvatova Mitobi Padyeta Grihavratanam. He has taken a vow to try and be the enjoyer of this world. Ahankara Vimudhatma Kartaham Itimani. This is the problem, that the tiny living entity, influenced by his ahankara, is trying to become the Lord of all he surveys. Ahammameti janasya mohoyam ahammameti icha dvesha sumutena dvanva mohena bharata. That the soul, when it touches the modes of passion, ignorance, different modes of nature, desire becomes inflated by his ahankar, the subtle energy, the ahankar. And therefore he goes through life, through different yonis, different species of life, trying to enjoy through his senses. So, this is simply an act of faith. The demoniac atheists in today's society, they actually dominate the knowledge system, the knowledge acquiring system, the academics. And if someone questions it, just like when Fred Hoyle made his statement that there is an intelligent agency behind our universe, he was immediately dismissed from from his position. He lost all his grants. He was blacklisted, ostracized, rejected. So there's actually a new movie out by some theologians in America. It's called The Story of Everything. And what they've done is they've taken the findings of astrophysics, the findings of microbiology, the DNA in every cell, which is nothing but a coding system. Code always comes from a mind. They say code is always designed by an engineer. In the computer science we know, you have to write the code. The code is written by someone who has a brain, who has a mind. So in the Bhagavad-Gītā, Krishna says, of course, Sarva Yonishu Kuntaya Murtaya Sambhavantiya Tesham Brahma Mahadyonir Aham Bija Pradapita. That I am the seed-giving father of all the different species of life. Oh no, what happened was there was some genetic mutation and some natural selection. Nature doesn't select. Krishna says, Maya Dyakshena Prakriti. I am running nature. Nature, molecules, they don't care about life. They're not thinking, today we're going to go towards a living being. And then from there we're going to move up the ecological scale, and then gradually there'll be human beings. No, there's no intentionality there. Intentionality comes from consciousness. And the consciousness is a symptom of the soul. So this is, as Prabhupada says, in all the universities of the world, there's no faculty to teach us who I am, what I am, and what is the purpose of my life. Therefore, in atheism, that they're promoting, they say we're simply purposeless biological machines thrown together in a pitiless universe. No pity. They understand. Dukkalayam shashvatam. Our world is full of temporality, and life is ephemeral. Life is temporary and full of misery. Mamupecha punarjanma dukkalayam shashvatam napnamanti mahatmanas samsidim paramam gata. Jara marana moksha mama shruti tantite te brahma tad vidu krishnam adhyatma karma chakila. Krishna says, your problem is you're going to die and you're suffering from disease, old age. And then you take birth in a womb for 9 months or more, or in an egg or a seed. And you have to go through the cycle again and again. Puna puna charvita charvananam. Prahlad Maharaj is telling his father, your real enemy is your mind, not God. Your real enemy is your mind, which is telling you that you are the supreme enjoyer, supreme controller. Hiranyakasipu, he was saying, my dear Prahlad, why are you preaching this poison to the sons of my fellow demons? Why are you preaching this poison? So the atheistic demons, they see, because of the mode of ignorance, they see religion as the opiate of the people, as poison. And irreligion, oh, that's good. Irreligion is good. Adharmam dharmam itya manyate tamasavitaha. Krishna describes that in the mode of ignorance, religion is seen as irreligious, and irreligion is seen as religion. Mode of ignorance. And in the mode of ignorance, unfortunately, tata parlinas tamasa mudho jonesu jayate, you've wasted your human form of life. And at the time of death, in the mode of ignorance, you go to the darkest regions of ignorance, as described in the Upanishads, the Bhagavad-Gītā, all the Vedic conclusions are there. You reject the Supreme Lord, you reject how He is everywhere, in everyone's heart, directing the wanderings of everyone. You reject these things, and after death, you say there's no life after death. But then, ahani bhutani gachantiya yamalayam, then the God comes to you in the form of death. And you've wasted this human form of life. Therefore, Hiranyakashipu is very angry with Prahlad. Why are you preaching this poison? You have to be killed. Kill him. And Sandanamarka, they are the representatives of the atheistic teachers. Just like now we have so many atheistic professors, and this is their belief system. There's no God. Secular, we have secular government. We don't allow religion in the places of learning, etc., etc. So this is a systematic and conspiracy to deny the existence of God. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada, had us print the Brahma Samhita, in which Bhaktisiddhanta is describing, who Lord Shiva is, and Durga Devi. She's empowered being to entrap all the living entities. Daivihiyesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mame vaye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. That Krishna's power, his powerful external energy, is simply crushing the living entities into illusion and devastation. And the only hope is this light of Srimad Bhagavatam. And it's an act of faith. First there's faith. Ashradana Purusha Shamshayatma Vinashiti Nayam Lokostina Paro Nasukam Naparam Gatim. Krishna tells Arjuna in the 16th chapter that if you have no faith in the scriptures, that you can never be happy in this life or in the next life. You're simply condemned. Parabhavastava bodhajato yavanna jigyasata atmatadvam. Rishabhadev tells his 100 sons that because people are not atmatadvam, they're not asking who am I and who is the controller who created all this complex universe, then parabhavas, they meet with defeat in life. The whole goal of human life is apavarga. Dharmasya hi apavargasya nartotaya pakalpate. Nartasya dharmaikantasya kamalabdaya hishmitaha. That material life is not meant simply for economic development that everyone is pursuing. Nunam pramata kurute vikarma yad indriya pritaya aprina. Simply how I can get money so I can have some indriya bhog. So, we're not just these material bodies. This is being stated by Rishabhadev here. You're simply mad after sense gratification. You're simply like moths flying into the fire. Just like insects, they're attracted to the fire. So you're attracted to this maya, and you're going to the fire and you're burning up. And you've lost. So this is the condition, this is the predicament in our Kali Yuga. But Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he is Krishna himself, right? Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtayam Yajantihi Shumed. Those who are intelligent and who are questioning this model, this modern model, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die, they take shelter, Krishna Varnam Tvi, of who? Of that person who appears here in Kali Yuga, who appears as in the mood of Radharani as a devotee. But he's God. He's the Supreme Lord himself, the source of all the universes, the source of everything. So he's right living here in Mayapur. And he goes to Gaya. And he decides, Nimai Pandit decides, let me take Diksha. So he takes Diksha from Ishvarapuri, disciple of Madhavendra Puri, who is known as the root of the tree of Vishvambar, the Lord of the universe, the tree of the universe. Madhavendra Puri has come from the spiritual world to enrich the pastimes of the Lord. So in this dark ocean of Kali Yuga, there is hope. So Mahaprabhu is beginning the Sankirtan movement here in Navadvip, Mayapur, and he's chanting, and all the Vaishnavas are chanting, and he's bequeathing them, he's endowing them with ecstatic prema, that the soul, its inherent quality is how to love, and divine love is the real love. This preman jana churita bhakti vilochanena Sandasadeva Hridayesha Vilokayant Yam Samasundaram Achinta Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. The whole purpose of our life, how to love God, how to love the Supreme Lord, Govinda. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is freely giving this prema bhakti. And then Lord Nityananda, who was traveling, he comes to Navadvip and he's staying in the one devotee's house. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells his devotees, a great personality has appeared here in Navadvip. We must receive him nicely. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu and all his prominent disciples, Kashishvari Pandit, Mukunda, Murari Gupta, Srivas Thakur, of course, his brothers, Rama Pandit, he has 3 brothers. They all arrange, because every night they're having this nocturnal kirtan here at Srivasangam. Only the very confidential disciples of Lord Chaitanya are allowed in this nocturnal kirtan every night. So they arrange a Vyasa Puja for Lord Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda comes to the house of Srivas, and they've made him a Vyasasan. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly sees Nityananda after so much time, and he manifests a 6-armed form. His 4 arms are holding the conch, the lotus, the club, and the chakra. 2 of his arms are holding the plow and the kamandalu, the pot. And at that time, Lord Nityananda sees, oh, he's the Supreme, my Supreme Lord, Krishna. And so he falls into a trance, falls into ecstasy. Lord Chaitanya is revealing now he's going to reveal that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all these universes. He shows his Virat Purush to Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya comes from Shantipur, staying at the house of Nandananda Acharya. And Ramai Pandit, Lord Chaitanya, he's omniscient. Oh, Advaita Acharya has arrived. I have to have him also involved in the beginning of Sankirtan. So Ramai Pandit goes to the house. Lord Chaitanya is calling you. He is the Supreme Lord. Advaita Acharya says, oh, how do you know he's the Supreme Lord? Let him come and show me. So eventually Ramai Pandit convinces Advaita Acharya, well, he knows that you're here. He's omniscient. So Advaita Acharya, he goes to the house of Srivas Pandit again. And he says to Lord Chaitanya, I want to see your Virat Roop, your Virat Purush. I want to see this form. So Lord Chaitanya manifests. He said, I want to see the same form that you showed Arjuna at Kurukshetra. I want to see that form where Krishna showed incredible demigods, different beings, higher planets, lower planets, all kinds of creatures, yakshas, apsaras, gandharvas, kinnaras, all the different beings in our universe. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibits this form to Advaita Acharya. And Advaita Acharya again goes into complete ecstatic love of God, complete ecstasy of this vision that he sees. He also sees that all the demigods, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Indra, Agni, all the demigods also come to see this Virat Rupa. All the various demigods, millions and millions of demigods appear at the house of Srivas Thakur. And the great goddess appears on a golden chariot. Ganga Mata appears. And they all are glorifying Lord Chaitanya. He is the supreme original Adi Purusha who has come now to deliver the fallen souls here in the age of Kali. Patita Pavana, Hetu Tavavatar, Mulsamo Patita. No one is more merciful than the Lord in the form of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Advaita Acharya, he describes that, yes, when you came as Kapila, you explained Shankar philosophy. As Ram, you killed Ravana. As Nrsingadev, you destroyed Hiranyakashipu. You're always killing all these demons, you're doing all these things. But in Kali Yuga, you give what you never gave before. Pure Krishna Prema in the highest stage, the Parakiya Bhav, the love that Radha and Krishna share, the love that Krishna experiences, and the devotee Radharani and her Shakis experiences, Madhurya Ras. That the Lord is giving us here in this age of Kali. Without any condition, any hesitation, the highest understanding of how to love God, how to love Krishna. And he's exhibiting he's tasting. Krishna comes to taste the love that Radharani has for him, Mahabhav. And he's dancing in front of Lord Jagannath. And Lord Jagannath, who is Krishna, stops the cart and his big eyes are looking at Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is rolling on the ground, and he resembles Mount Meru. Tears are flowing from his eyes like torrents of rain, and he's drenching all the devotees in his tears of love. His skin is erupting, and he looks like a silken cotton tree with all its thorns. And devotees, he can't even, Lord Chaitanya's throat is choked up. He can't even say, I worship Lord Jagannath in the hall of Puri. He's saying, Jaja Gaga Paramumu. He's trying to say, my dear Lord, I wish to your Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami, Bhava to me, please appear to me. And he's dancing in ecstasy, and all the devotees are there. Maharaj Prataparuja is there. Srivas Thakur is there. Nityananda is there. All the devotees are there. Advaita Acharya is there. They're all seeing this ecstatic dancing of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya is empowering different devotees by entering into their bodies, like Nrsingananda Brahmachari, Nakula Brahmachari. Lord Chaitanya enters into their bodies and they become empowered to distribute this prema bhakti to others. So this is the stage that we're all aspiring for. This aparada gucci, sudanami ruchi, when we really taste the nectar of the holy name, simply by chanting these names of Krishna in this age of Kali. This mantra is so powerful that it purifies our heart and we become free of all our anarthas, and we simply develop that dormant love of God which is there within everyone's heart. The soul is already there. As Prabhupada said, there's no artificial imposition on the mind. This Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, simply by chanting it, one becomes enlightened, one becomes blissful, one becomes enlightened to understand his relationship with the Supreme Lord. Jivera Swarapoi Nityara Krishna Das, right? We have an eternal relationship with God, but we've been so long in this prison house. They're saying, oh, let me stay here. Like Lord Indra, let me be a hog, Let me stay. No, we don't want. We don't want to stay here. Dharmasya hi apavargasya. Nartotaya pakalpate. Nartasya dharmakantasya. That the whole goal of our life is to get out of this pavarga. Pa, fa, ba, ba, and ma. Pa means struggling hard. And pa means faring. And fa means we see people working hard day and night, going to the factories, going to the office, just like the donkey or the mule, working hard, simply frothing at the mouth. Vanilla, frothing at the mouth. And then disappointment, we become disappointed in life. We work so hard for a family, and then our children say, oh, we don't really like you, and they go away. Especially in America. We leave the house when we were 17 years old. Unfortunately, we meet Śrīla Prabhupāda. As we see, no one's happy. The Kali Yuga, people are so frustrated. There's so much nowadays, because of atheism, so much suicide amongst young people. So much suicide. So many drug abuse. In this country where everyone wants to live, America, there's a huge drug abuse problem. It's not Svargaloka, it's Narakaloka. But people go there simply for some economic benefit. But there's no happiness, no peace. Simply more and more problems. So many social problems because of this atheism. Divorce, conflict. Now they have mass murders in America. Right, Prabhu? People go in somewhere and they have guns. Everyone's allowed guns and they kill 50 people. Just randomly kill people because their mind becomes crazy due to frustration. That verse, Sangat Sangajate Kama, Kama Krodho Bijayate, Krodho Bhavati Samoha, Samoha, Smriti Vibramad, Smriti Brahmad Buddhi Nasho. In this verse it shows the whole scenario. Because of lust and greed, people get frustrated, they get angry, they lose their understanding of who they are. They become covered by the mode of ignorance and they do crazy things, right? Go out, why would you kill people? Go out and murder people just randomly for no reason. So this is going on. So our business, Prabhupada said, if you want to please me, preach as vigorously as I do. Preach as vigorously. When Prabhupada was in New York, he had a heart attack, 68. And then Prabhupada, oh no, but I have some preaching engagements. I have to go to these preaching engagements. No, Prabhupada, listen, we'll take you to a nice beach. We'll take you to a nice resort where you can relax and be, improve on your health. Prabhupada looked at them and said, never take away my right to struggle for Krishna. Don't, he was angry. How dare you? So even though Prabhupada's health was so poor, He knew he had a few there. He was constantly traveling around the world. One city, one day in Africa, next day in India, next day in New Zealand, next day in Europe, next day in America. He was just traveling because Śrīla Prabhupada knew that it was inspiring his disciples. He was inspiring people. Even non-devotees would be inspired and impacted by Śrīla Prabhupada's presence. Very powerful Shaktivish. Lord Chaitanya can enter into your body like he did at Narottam Das Thakur. So he entered Shakta. Lord Chaitanya can appear through a jiva and empower him. Shaktivish avatar. That is Śrīla Prabhupada. Or how could he do this miracle? How is it possible? The people are so driven by atheism and demoniac tendencies that he transformed people into sadhus, into Mahatmas. So, a great miracle by Lord Chaitanya's empowerment. He empowered Śrīla Prabhupada. And this mission will go on more and more for the next 10,000 years. Śrīla Prabhupada's books become the law books of mankind. So we're in Bhadra Purnim. Everyone should sponsor some Bhagavatams and give them to people. So if you're interested, come and speak to me. I can arrange for your Bhagavatams. Srimad Bhagavatam is very powerful, literary incarnation of God. I've seen the Bhagavatam transform people. I've seen it just reading the Bhagavatam, they become transformed. They give up all their sinful activities. They become devotees. They get pictures of Śrīla Prabhupada put in their house where they used to have alcohol and meat. Oh, they became pure, purified. So this is very powerful, the Srimad Bhagavatam. Creates a revolution in the lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Tadvag sargo janataga vipavo. That verse in the first canto. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Maybe one comment or question, then we'll... Yes, Prabhu. Yes,
I have two comments. I have microbiology background, first of all. I have microbiology background.
Yes, because you're microbiologist.
Yeah. So, just give you an example that a lot of people know about E. coli.
Yes.
E. coli is everywhere, and it is so small that you can accommodate 100,000 of them on a head of the pin.
Wow.
So how small it is. So, but same one bacterium if you take, get infected by virus called bacteriophage, and one bacterium can be killed by 60,000 bacteriophage.
By 60,000?
Yeah, of bacteriophage. So what is this? If you go to smallest bacteriophage, I used to operate electron microscope.
Yes.
So I have seen...
You can see the E. coli.
Yeah.
Electronic microscope.
Yeah. So one E. coli that can be accommodated. I mean, the virus is for the bacteriophage can be contained in one E. coli cell. The E. coli are so small that 100,000 can be accommodated on pin head.
Yes.
So how small it is. But the, andantarastha paramanu chayantarastha.
Adantarcha paramanu chayantarastha.
So that's it. The other thing is that in chemistry side, each and every atom has nucleus.
Has?
Nucleus.
Yes, a nucleus, of course.
Yeah.
Nucleus, photon,
Yeah.
electrons flying around.
So, one nucleus, if you break it, can destroy the whole world. That is why how the what is it called, the atom bomb.
Yes, the atom bomb. Split the atom.
Just splitting only one small
The
thing.
nucleus. Yeah.
So how much energy, the one atom bomb can destroy a lot of things. How
Yeah.
much energy is compact in one nucleus? This is the amazing thing. So I just wanted to mention that there are so many sub-living entities we don't know. You know?
Yes.
So anyway, thank you.
They love studying. The E. coli is the a unicellular bacteria,
Bacteriophage.
and inside there's so many little machines, and it even has like an outboard motor called a philia.
Yeah.
And this E. coli can move around in the intestine, right? Stomach, intestine. And it can detect what is favorable for consumption, what is unfavorable, and it moves around with this philia, which looks like an outboard motor. It has a drive shaft, it has a universal joint in it.
Yeah.
It's all microbiology. And they say, oh, it happened by chance.
See,
It's not possible.
the other thing is that in a Ganga Jal, everybody call it very pure.
Mhm.
How it is pure? It coming from the Himalayas, collecting so many things, including so many bacteria.
Mhm.
But E. coli contains bacteriophage that destroy all the bacteria.
Wow.
So that is how holy water of Ganga is pure. So this is inconceivable potency of the small thing.
So if the atheistic scientists, if they follow the discoveries of modern science,
Yeah.
like this E. coli,
Yes.
it's like it's a unicellular entity, but inside there's so many little machines, so many little macromolecules. This thing's going on all the time. There's millions of molecules in one E. coli,
Yeah.
and they all work in a organized fashion, teleological fashion, they call it, serve the purpose of supporting life.
Yeah.
So many things going on, and all the activities in there, the nano machines working, different things, mitochondria being repaired, all these things going on is coming from instructions called DNA.
Yeah.
Information content is saying, oh, you have to repair that, oh, you need a polypeptide, you need a polysaccharide, you need a lipid. So many things are being manufactured all the time inside this tiny little E. coli.
Yeah.
It can 100,000 can fit on the head of a pin. Oh no, it all happened by chance, just some random way. It's just not possible. It is impossible. It's just foolishness, blind foolishness. And then the DNA, like I said, it comes from a mind.
Yeah.
It's Krishna's effortlessly writes the DNA for all the different species of life. Lord Brahma, down to the ant, down to the germ. The DNA is there, which is instructing how to support the life systems inside for a certain amount of time. And it's the soul that enters in different ways, which activates. The primal mover is the soul, which they don't know what it is. Like they see the E. coli die. And at that moment, they're expert. They can separate all the different parts of this E. coli. They can take it out, put it in a beaker. But they can't put it together and make life again. You see, they can deconstruct, but they can't, okay, now let's put it together. What's missing? What's the spark of life? Which is the most important part of life, of everything, of everybody, the soul. And the soul is only...
The
Put-
E. coli are such a living entity that it can work against you or it can work with you. In your, in your digestive system.
Yeah, they can kill you or they can help you.
E. coli makes a lot of enzymes and vitamins.
Yes,
in your body.
enzymes.
Same E. coli can destroy it.
They can also kill you. You know, people die from E. coli poisoning. You know, they get the bad stuff. So, it's just foolishness. Mogasha moga karmana. They're very foolish. Simply false ego. You know, chanchala himanak pramati. Very stubborn. They're very stubborn. No, don't tell me about God. Mythology. Even here in India, they say, oh no. Religion, no, mythology. So, the only hope is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's the only hope. Krishna himself came and he's gradually spreading this light throughout our planet. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you for your
His Grace Kripanidhi Prabhu ki
Hare Bol.